Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing another VOD review for Bluehawk. In fact, I remember last time that we did Bluehawk's VOD, it was actually on this map. So this is quite funny that we're going to go back to this map. We have increased from, I think, Bluehawk was silver. We're now in gold, which is great. I'm just going to read out the little thing that Bluehawk put as well. So it's a 0 death match, which is really great. 1.7 damage amped and 6k healing. They were grouped up with the Orisa, Soldier, and Life Weaver, so it means that basically we're with everyone here apart from the Farah, which is going to be kind of like interesting to see when we watch. Match was almost 15 minutes. I used the Glock a little bit, which got my teammates killed, but I've learned from my mistake and I have 7 reses. Okay, awesome. Yes, we do also have the golden bacon strips of Soul Bloom as well, which I love, and the cute little lucky cat. So we're just going to go through basically today, see whether Bluehawk's kind of acted on. I believe we talked a lot about positioning from what I remember from the last one. So we see whether basically we managed to work on positioning a little bit. We have obviously the Soul Bloom skin on, love it as well. You can get your own, you can get your own VOD reviews. They offer 5,000 channel points and they're on my Twitch. I do the VOD reviews on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. You guys can simply just come down and basically lurk to earn the channel points. They're absolutely entirely for free, and all you have to do is just type in the code, and when I get to you guys, I'll do it live on stream for everyone to see. So they won't talk to chat while I'm doing it, but you'll basically get that feedback like straight back, basically. So yes, without further ado, let's basically get started. So looking at our comp, we have ourselves a Farah. Okay, so already, we need to be going up with our Farah, okay? I know we are grouped with, like, the Soldier and everything like that, but in reality, our, like, Farah is going to be this damage boost target. What Farah is going to do here is essentially she will just start spamming over these roofs like this, and you can just, like, start cancelling your GA like this. The reason is because Soldier can very much stand up on his own, like, quite a lot, compared to your Farah, who, Farah, I believe, is, like, very heavily reliant on Mercy quite a lot, and also, it is, I believe Farah is, like, the best, like, damage boost target, or Echo, but Echo, you don't really need to be with as much. Okay, so we're going around with the Soldier anyways. Lovely play recover. We decided to change our mind, which is fine. And yeah, our Farah ends up dying because we're not with her, basically. It's fine. Keep going. Obviously, you heard the Kiriko's behind you. I would put a ping down here, unless, of course, you're using comms. If you're using comms and stuff, then it's fine. Then, obviously, you know, you'd be able to listen out to everything. But, obviously, if you're not using comms, then it's a little bit harder. So obviously, you've seen her. Okay, if this Kiriko starts harassing you like this, just GA away. I didn't see her. Oh, I thought, like, could you, like, hear her, though? Because if you can hear, like, her, like, with, what's it called, being, like, down here. She has, like, a little footstep noise and stuff. If you can hear her, you literally, at this point, you just need to, like, GA away. Like this. So, like, GA with, like, your Soldier somewhere, basically. Just away, if you can. But it's fine. We get the block out. Damage just gonna arrest her a little bit, which is fine. Oh, okay. So you just see that Soul just died. I love how you, like, backed off and stuff like that. Lovely res in the cover. That's a really great res. This Kiriko is still after you guys for some reason. Nice. Okay, Commando. Okay, back out now. Nice. It's a little bit unfortunate you did manage to get the kill there, but it's alright. Same thing again, though, you want to be going with the Farah here. This is kind of, I find this is a very big issue, is whenever people, like, group together, or duo queue is probably, like, one of the biggest ones, is that people just completely ignore people that aren't in the group. And this is exactly what's happening here. This Farah isn't grouped with you, and your Farah is actually the one that needs to be enabled here. Like, it doesn't matter that, oh, like, you know, these are, like, my friends, these are, like, you know, like, who I know and stuff like that. Forget about it. Just go and damage boost this Farah, because this is going to be, like, your, like, this is basically, unless if she's, like, going in, like, feeding and stuff like that and not doing too great, then obviously, you know, she's not ideal. But because she's actually performing well and she's playing, like, in her cover, what seems to be like, you basically just need to kind of, like, be following up with the Farah, like, using your cancel GAs and just following her about. I will be making a full TikTok at some point about play with Farahs and Echoes and stuff. I've got a full, like, script basically out for them. Lovely use of cover. Really great super jump to get up there. Awesome. But it's just the same thing. You're very much AFK with these guys when you could very much be stuck with this Farah trying to get some of the spam damage in early. Because if this Farah lands, like, 2 direct bullets with the damage boost, they're gone. They are out of the fight. They have no res, and it makes it a 4v5 for you guys for the next fight. Or basically means that it'll, like, stagger them a little bit more. That's fine. So obviously, so we notice we're going with Farah now, which is great. Use the heal. Okay, we didn't put the heal on quick enough. It's fine. Oh. Okay. With this okay, so let's just quickly rewind this, because I want to quickly rewatch this, right? Okay, so we see the Moira, that's fine. We go up, that's great. Okay, now we need to be looking for our Pharah, who's up here, okay? We would then basically connect our beam to this Pharah. Obviously, she goes down for a bit, so that's fine. You go back up with her, this is great. This is awesome that you've gone back up with her, alright? Okay, as soon as she loses that first bit of HP, you want to kind of put the heal beam on her. The reason is because this Ashe still has a really good direct LOS of this Pharah, and it will help try and, like, keep her above that damage threshold that that the Ashe needs, that will obviously, like, you know, make the Pharah basically, like, die, basically. So you want to kind of put this heal beam on and just kind of keep it there, alright? Because you do end up, like, putting it on a bit too late, she ends up dying. Okay, with this res, you do not want to, like, drop down from here because this is too far away. This is just kind of, like, your knowledge about res distance, okay? Literally, what you want to do is, you manage to get LOS of it. You want to basically kind of, like, flick yourself up onto this high ground with this and res it here. Because it also stops you from basically prevents you from also being booped by this Lucio here. So you just want to kind of, like, quickly flick up and come and res over here. But it's fine. It's all good. Obviously, end up going out of the way. This Lucio is a bit obsessed with you, I'm not gonna lie. That's how you kind of just, like, left it, though. Okay, until you can see, like, the Lucio yourself, don't have the Glock out. So you can literally just, what's it called? Just put your beam onto, like, your Life Weaver, damage boost him, until you manage to get LOS of it, and then get it. Love the damage boost here, though. But I'd be looking for my Pharah now again, because obviously your Pharah is going to be, be coming back. She's already over here. So literally what you want to be doing is essentially, as soon as, like, that Life Weaver now has started to back off, you now need to be thinking, okay, where's my Pharah? Now, your Pharah has gone slightly in, I will be honest. Normally they do kind of, like, float around here. So you just have to basically just wait for her to kind of, like, come back up. Because right now you're basically, like, obviously it's nice that you pushed in and everything. But you could be, what's it called? You could be out here, like, helping your Pharah or something like that. But anyway, so ends up dying. Go back to spawn, really great. Lovely going for the health pack, really great. Do the right thing of damage boosting. Really, really great. Now I'll be going with your soldier. Nice. Just try and, like, make sure you try and keep your beam on at least, like, one person, so you're not, like, what's it called? You're not, like, basically not having an impact, like, all the fight, basically. So, yeah. Nice, you've noticed the hands over there. That's really, really great. Okay. This is, I'm not gonna lie, really, really hard to kind of, like, push out of as a support, or, like, just any kind of player, especially when your team doesn't have something to contest this high ground. Because a lot of the times, especially in, like, the higher lobbies and stuff like that, you will just have an Ashe sat with a Mercy pocket up here, and will just instantly, like, two-tap you whenever you want to rotate, right? So whenever you want to basically, like, move through and stuff like that, you basically just want to kind of GA, and then you want to play under here if you can. Now, obviously, this isn't like GM, so obviously you're not going to get what's called, you're not going to get absolutely annihilated if you want to, like, pass through here and stuff. But it's just a little bit safer if you, like, you grab hold of someone, like, obviously, and then just GA, and then you just kind of like, play under here. You don't need to be pushing the cart here or anything, and it also gives you free reigns, kind of, like, look at your team. Like, here, for example, you can go and push up with your soldier and do whatever. It just kind of gives you that nice little, you know, view of your team without, obviously, these guys shooting at you or anything. But we'll keep going. You see how you're fully in LOS of this Ashe right now? Like, I'm pretty sure if I go into this Ashe, yeah, she can still see you. Because of how this high ground is honestly so good on this map. So it will basically see you. Like, the only place that she's not going to be able to see you is literally completely, like, directly underneath her. Alright? It's fine. I'd be going up with your Pharah. Okay, you need to go with your Pharah here. Which I feel as though it's something that's very, like, remnants about this entire thing, is the fact that you kind of just abandon your Pharah because she's not grouped with you, okay? This is the perfect opportunity for you to go in with your Pharah. Because what's going to happen is your Pharah is going to try and contest this Ashe. But obviously Ashe is pretty much a very good counter to Pharah, right? But obviously Ashe, like, Pharah basically wants to, like, dismiss her from the high ground. You can basically help her survive throughout this entire ordeal by just literally, when you're here, GAing up to her and then just playing around this, like, little pillar bit like this, alright? See what you end up doing, though? We just end up just looking at her. And then we don't even end up to get to GA with her afterwards. So that entire scenario essentially just needed to be with the Pharah to try and help out. Because although like you've had like some really good damage amps and like no deaths and stuff like that, I'm already seeing that you're not partaking a lot in some of these team fights, if you get me. Because you're not putting your beam on the right person. You're just very much staying back and just allowing people to do stuff basically. But it's fine. Same thing again, I'd be wanting to go with your Pharah here. To wait for dragons, which is fine. Okay. I just want to rewind this entire thing, just to quickly rewatch it back. Okay, so we heal up Pharah. This is when you should just go with Pharah. Like, this is, I feel as though just the issue that you're having is very much that you're just not going with this Pharah, and it would pretty much like solve all your problems right now if you just like basically went with your Pharah. So I'm just gonna watch this in 3D mode, right? If you go up with your Pharah, she can then basically help start pressuring this Hanzo, or like pressure anyone who's on this high ground. Now, obviously there's nobody on this high ground, we obviously just cleared it before, so this Pharah will basically come up and start raining down on this Hanzo. If you can get this Hanzo, it stops this entire scenario from happening behind, alright? So we end up getting a bit lost because we're like, oh, where's it? Everyone gone? I love how you waited here. This is fine. Waiting for the dragons. This is awesome. Okay. But then as soon as you can, obviously you see this Hanzo, right? You have to think to yourself or like communicate, because you were grouped up with all these people. You can communicate with your team right now and be like, hey, like I need help like trying to get back to you, or like, oh, there's a Hanzo behind cart kind of thing. Obviously the soldier comes forward. You essentially, what you want to do at this point is just fly through and do a quick, like, crouched Guardian Angel up onto this high ground. Because then you can help assist the soldier whilst not being an LOS of the Hanzo. And you can essentially just help kind of get him without you basically pulling out this pistol and getting him killed, pretty much. Because don't worry, like, you can hit some, like, really good shots on him. Which is fine. Yeah, you'd end up killing him, which is really, really great. But this whole scenario could have been avoided if we just, like, thought about, like, that positioning. So we have a whole hog. We pop out because of it. Nice, we're using cover now. I was going to say, we needed to use cover a little bit sooner with the bout, but I like how we're using it now. This is really, really great. Okay, I want to just go quickly just rewind this, because I think you can get this res on. So, we Valk, which is fine. Pushing the damage boost, which is great. Okay, we kind of get a little bit lost here. What you essentially need to do when you pop this Valk is as soon as you can, you want to rotate and use this cover. You can literally crouch, and then like with the Valk, you can essentially just use the jump button to kind of like raise yourself up to keep the beams on, and then just like jump back down like this. Just do like this, because this hog is basically very focused like onto your team right now. You can literally just kind of focus like, you know, jumping up and down. As whole hog does come onto you, just press your jump button and just allow it just to basically float you up onto this high ground instead. This high ground probably would be better for you, like, in the long run, actually. But playing down here is also, like, kind of great. Alright. So, we get a beam on the life wave. He ends up dying. I just wanted to see whether it was possible to get a res on him. So this is great damage boost here. You don't need to heal here, because I saw towards the end of the Valk you started like to heal a little bit more. You absolutely do not need to heal here. This is when you could go and res. Okay. Because Ashe has used her coach gun and is very focused on this spin at Orisa. This orb is like around here-ish. I can't see it in this mode, which is really annoying. Yeah, it's there. You can literally, because you're still in your, like, the end of your Valk, and then just go in. My tank gets mad if it is on full HP. Don't care. Just say Bluehawk, I don't care, right? If you're Orisa right now, you're right, because this is also what happens, right? With Orisas, they have obviously the armor on top of them as well. The armor means they also take reduced damage. Okay, so even though Orisa is like, say she's like 400 HP, she's not really, she's more like 450 kind of thing, because with like the armor buffs and stuff like that, right? So literally, just be like, I don't care. Like, just keep damage boosting her. You only really want to start healing her up if obviously there's a lot of damage coming into her, like specifically like if there's a Reaper like right up in her face, then, you know, might need to. But in these kind of scenarios, you essentially just want to just keep damage boosting her up until she hits probably like maybe like 200, like 150 threshold. And then you can start healing her and stuff like that. But you can also save this healing for the end of your Valk too as well, remember. Because you can still stick this damage boost on for the last 2 seconds of your Valk and then start healing her up, because you also get ult charge from that. So then your tank's happy and you also have ult charge. But don't be like mad if your, if your Orisa isn't full HP for this entire thing. It looks like this might be, I don't know. It depends if you, because literally what I would end up doing here, because your Orisa's using her like spinny javelin, this basically deflects the damage from here. This basically means that you can get this res off here. That's where I was like going with this scenario. But yeah, honestly, don't let your tank like bully you like if they're not full HP. Okay, we're not kind of disconnecting. Instead of just like kind of having this, what's it called? Res. Oh yeah, sorry, res is on cooldown. Sorry, yeah, you're right. So instead of obviously, I just want to quickly rewind it again because I very much like lost my train of thought with this. So we end up damage boosting, which is great. Okay, use the cover now, which is really, really good. Life Weaver ends up dying, that's fine. Damage boost here. Okay, at the end of this Valk, you now need to be thinking, okay, my Valk is ending. Make sure your beam is still on. You do a wall bounce here, where essentially you just kind of, what you end up doing is you'll basically try to GA to your like beam target. It'll get you caught on this wall. You can then use the charge meter thing to like jump away, and then you can meet your Orisa on this other side. And you can also meet your soldier who will basically, or is already making this like rotation up to the high ground. Alright? Because then we end up obviously with the soldier dying and stuff. So it's going to be a fight reset, so it's fine. Your life, okay. That's it, your Life Weaver gave you the option to get out kind of thing. I would have literally, if your Life Weaver didn't come out, I would literally just stay crouched in that bottom bit and hope that you wouldn't get out. It's a bit weird, obviously your Life Weaver basically goes in and feeds. At this point, because you're grouped up with these people as well, I'm going to obviously talk a lot more about like comms, because if you're solo queuing as Mercy and you're not using your mic, obviously it's quite hard to, you know, comm stuff with your team apart from pings. If you're queued up with these people, probably very likely that you're going to be using your mic. You just now need to say to them, okay guys, like we need to group up, we need to like get everyone back together kind of thing. Because already we have our Orisa going in without any of our team left. And also we shouldn't be also going in with this Orisa. We should still be going in with our Pharah. Because, no offense, we have not touched this Pharah, like, at all throughout this entire time. And she's actually doing quite a lot for your team. If you enabled this Pharah some more, she could, honestly, she could rip through this entire team. You just need to put your faith and trust in her. Because already she's managed to 1v1 this Ashe, like, quite a few times. Pharah is so strong at this point as well, because obviously, you know, she can very easily displace these people off this high ground. There is so much lovely cover as well for a Pharah, which also means there's lovely cover for you. Life Weaver does a lot of healing as well, like obviously with the charge healings and stuff like that. He can very much stay with your soldier and your what's called your Orisa. You essentially just need to kind of like calm with your team and be like, hey, come on, group up and everything. And then you can go up with your Pharah, okay? But we'll keep going. So we're gonna damage boost in your Orisa for a bit. Lovely javelin. Watch it with the heals. We don't need to GA in here. You essentially, like, because you GAing yourself in here, you're putting yourself at risk to all these people. You can just stay exactly where you are and just wait for the soldier to back off, and then you can come and help him here, okay? There is no need for you to GA into this because it just puts you at risk, alright? But it's fine. If you're doing that scenario, you essentially just want to head back inside. I don't know how on earth you are still alive for this entire thing. That's how you backed out though, this is really great. Nice GA. He's gonna help you, Pharah. This is all just very messy now. Nice that you managed to get out though. Resin Life Weaver, which is fine. Okay. At this point, instead of looking at your Orisa, like it's great that obviously you use your Orisa to get out and res this with Life Weaver, this is great. But now we need to like kind of like be thinking, okay, where's the soldier and how can I get up to go and help him? Because obviously, like Orisa's fine because Orisa's very much out of the fight. But as soon as you go to res this, you have to now realize that there are still people in this fight. Obviously, Pharah ends up dying. How can you basically get to the soldier? You can GA from where you resed to your Orisa like this. Press your vertical crouch button, the vertical super jump button, which is like your crouch. It will send you directly up into the air like this. and then will allow you to basically end up on this high ground. Then you have an option of either you can come from behind and pistol the Hanzo, or you can just put your beam on the on your soldier. It depends on like how you want to play this out and how well you feel like on your aim. All right, because at the moment your soldier's taking this 1v1 kind of by himself, and it would help a lot if you were up there. It would also mean because now he's cleared this high ground, and he has his visor. Where's your soldier gone now? Where's he gone? Anyways, what should happen is essentially the soldier will kill the Hanzo over here, and then he should basically rotate onto this high ground and then use his visor. If you are there to come and help with, or like at least like control this high ground, obviously people start coming in, then you can visor and stuff. But you basically just want to be here with him on this high ground like this. Where even is he? Oh, he's got up onto that turret high ground. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. Obviously, you gotta go help down there. You don't need to be going down here. Like, you do not need to go your... Yeah, okay. I feel as though, Bluehawk, you're very confused with who you should be following. I'm just gonna keep it going. You seem very confused with who you should be following throughout this entire time. If you... Obviously, your main thing is the Pharah, but if your Pharah is dead, or if for some reason you don't want to follow your Pharah, then it should be your soldier. But right now, you're playing very, like, out of fights, if you get me. That's a lovely rotation, though. Okay, let me back this up. Okay, so this is the point where essentially you see that you've got your beam onto the soldier. Your Orisa is completely fine. Your Orisa is pretty much full HP. She has a Mega down there as well. Okay, you absolutely do not need to be near her. You essentially will want to come and rotate with your soldier here, okay? So, what you would do is you would rotate around with your soldier, or you'd meet back up with your Pharah if you would like play with your Pharah a lot more. And then you could be with him on this nice little flank and be able to basically kill anyone that's in spawn, or he could also start doing a visor from behind here. Because you're basically helping to enable him a lot more here. Run the payload instead. With this kind of payload, you essentially just want to either stay crouched behind it, or crouched like behind round here. And just kind of stay there up until your Life Weaver gives you, like, is basically giving you that distance for you to, like, a mini, like, slingshot GA back out into this open. It saves you from this risk of essentially being hooked by this hog and also, like, being attacked by the Moira too as well. So you essentially just want to play as much cover as you can from there. But you see how your soldier's using his visor on this flank? He is doing this by himself, unfortunately. Imagine if you were here to come and help enable him. You could very easily eliminate this Moira and also probably get this hog like really, really weak. And also it very much like keeps these people at bay, alright? So it would be really, really good if you went and helped enable that. Because right now you being with this Life Weaver on point is doing nothing. I love this rotation. This is great. You absolutely do not need to drop here though. This is the issue, right? Because you dropping forward here puts you in direct LOS of these two here, okay? So you can literally just stand up on here and just kind of hook yourself like onto this wall if you want to, and kind of jiggle peek here. And then if you need to, you can just come over and like come and help your Life Weaver. But right now your soldier, I believe, has like, yeah, your soldier has fallen, and I think this is partially your fault for not going in and helping enable him. Instead, you're very much like stood AFK on the point. You end up dropping and using the cover, which is really, really great. You need to move. Okay. So, you drop down here, which is great use of cover, do not get me wrong. But then you kind of like see, oh, I'm still in LOS with these people. As soon as your GA gets back online, and also it gave you, like, the Bob gave you time to react as well, because the Bob's just going to basically charge in this absolute straight line for you, right? You now have options. You can go up to your Life Weaver, or you can, like, go back with your Orisa. You can also, like, kind of, like, super jump up and then go and get to your Pharah, which is what you should be doing. Because then it saves you from essentially just being stuck and this Bob running at you. Instead, you kind of like take a few seconds to react to it, think, oh my gosh, what shall I do? And you end up running down here, which is fine because it's out of the LOS and everything. But now you're completely out of the team fight compared to when you have options before. So yeah. Anyway, so there's a health pack there that you can just use instead. See how we're very like out of the team fight now? We like... imagine if you did this rotation instead, you could basically just be up and helping these people right now. Even like being with your Pharah and putting in a lot of pressure. You like rotating down here is basically like leaving your team to fend for themselves kind of thing. It's making it a 4v5 basically when it doesn't need to be. If you want to get out here, just don't wait for the bomb. You can rotate round the back and rotate. I'll quickly just show you, right? What you can do in this scenario is once you kind of... Where have I ended up? Yeah, once you've ended up like in here, you could essentially keep hugging this wall. And then when you hit about this section here, he won't LOS of you, you quickly pop it on. And then you can rotate and then be with your team again. Instead of just spending this entire time being AFK down here, okay? But we'll keep going. Obviously end up falling again. Blue beam in soldier, which is great. This is exactly what you should have been doing this entire time. Is literally just either going around with your Pharah or going around with your soldier. It would be better if it was your Pharah, but you know. Sound, remember, soldier's going to be up top. I mean, obviously the life we've ended up getting in, which is great. Really good javelin. You don't need to be pushed up this far though. You could literally just hang about and just use this kind of cover at the back of cart. Just peeking like this. You don't need to be pushing forward with them. Just stay back here and kind of like play here. Same thing again as well. You don't need to heal Orisa here. Just damage boost your soldier. You have a life weave which can just heal that. Really good like pop the damage boost though onto your life weave to finish it off. I'd ping that. Obviously you have comms. Okay, we don't need to rotate back here. Because what's going to happen at this point is you've caught what's called you basically you're breaking through these doors and stuff like that. Essentially now you can just go through with the soldier because the soldier will now want to basically apply pressure to this team and try and like make them back off even more. You backing off to here is once again doing nothing for your team. Okay, but we'll keep going. Same thing. You shouldn't be focused on going for the Orisa. You should be focused on going with your soldier. You have Life Weaver to help with this Orisa, right? Essentially, just go around and go and help with your soldier, go and help with your Echo, who's here now, all right? You need to kind of like split your resources, I feel like, a little bit better. We're going to be using Valk to save ourselves. Nice res. Okay, let's rewind it a bit. I feel as though this all kind of stems from this bad move here, right? What you want to do here is go with the soldier. The soldier isn't backing out, which is fine. You can then basically help him main and just be, what's it called, just damage boost to him. You can crouch behind like these little pillars like here to use like to block LOS. You can also even play like here if you wanted to. It's gonna be a little bit difficult because, you know, they backs off so far kind of thing. But you need to give that soldier that confidence and just keep your blue beam like with him and stuff, right? Because you being here is doing like kind of like nothing basically. Like obviously it is helping your Orisa, like do not get me wrong, like it's great. Your Orisa is still really healthy, so it's absolutely fine. Love this damage boost though. Okay, as soon as you know this whole hog is coming, you need to back away. What you would do is get just basically GA to your Orisa and just GA around this corner, because then it gives extra time for the hog to basically come and like try and get you all, okay? Because then it basically saves your Valk and then you can then use it for like a really like good opportunity. You essentially keeping your beam on when she's rotated and you just stayed where you are is giving away your position. And the hog's gonna know, oh, well, the Mercy's still here because he can see the beam. So we end up Valking to save ourselves, which is fine. I would have literally just backed off and then we end up going for this res, which is fine. And then as soon as we've used this res, we now need to think, okay, where's going to be our cover? Because we end up like panicking a bit, but like, oh my gosh, what shall I do? Literally, just get yourself behind down here. Just for a second or so. Just so you can like regen your health a little bit and also throw them off a bit. This soldier's going to be immune for a second. This Life Weaver should be fine as long as we go down like for 1 second. And then as soon as like immortality fingers come off of your soldier, you just kind of like come pop up like to about this level, like here. And then just start damage boosting him. We just use that cover a little bit more. We end up locking onto our like Pharah, which is, sorry, I Echo even now, which is fine. Orisa's like in there. Can't do anything about that. You don't have res. I feel as though it wasn't very well communicated like with your team. Like remember you are grouped up with these people, so you can very much like communicate with them and be like, hey, like, you know, like Orisa, you're like in by yourself. That's really unfortunate. You just need to get out. Perfect. And then same, okay, Echo has gone in quite a bit now. Lovely. Now just link up with your Echo. Because if you once again, if you give this confidence in your DPS with that blue beam, they will trust you and they will come in with like what's it called? With the damage boost and just come in with this Lucio. It looks like the hog left for a second, so I'm just gonna in fact let me just quickly rewind it. So I can like get back to you. There we are. So we're currently main. This is fine using this cover. Fling yourself away from the Moira, which is great. The same thing again, just push that damage boost some more. Really nice use of cover though. Like playing out of the distance as well is really, really great. When Bastion's in his turret form, you very, very rarely want to, what's it called? You very, very rarely want to cross his path. Because when you get higher up, Bastions will obviously have a lot better tracking. They can essentially just sit there in that turret form and just go and just track your GA. This basically means that in this kind of scenario, it's actually better if you just stay where you are and just kind of play with your Life Weaver. If your soldier ends up coming forward a little bit, then yeah, sure. You could maybe make a GA to kind of come over to here to go and help him. In fact, that's probably your best scenario, to make a GA over here to then come and help these guys. Just so you're not in the LOS. Sorry, it really annoys me when a team has a lever because it means that I can't really flick around and do like the 3D stuff. But anyway, so that's fine. That's fine for topping up Orisa there, but then as soon as she's like above that threshold again, just what's it called? Put your beam on. I don't know where the sound has gone, it's a bit weird, but keep on going. It's like no shooting sound, like whatsoever. It's fine. This is fine that you end up actually letting your Echo die there because she makes a bad rotation. Okay, as soon as you see this contested sign, you want to get away, okay? You could essentially just GA to back off here, alright? Because although it's a Moira, which I think is like probably best case scenario out of everyone, if you backed off to be around here, it means that if it was someone a little bit more dangerous, then it doesn't allow you to take that extra damage. You could literally just sit back here and help your team like this, alright? Same thing, you can damage boost this. Orisa also, like, Orisa can pretty much, like, not be killed when she's in this ultimate. Like, it's very, very hard to because of her forward spy and everything like that. At this point, especially because there's nobody in this circle, you don't want to damage boost this, you just want to damage boost this soldier. Because Orisa ult, I believe, a lot of the time, is a bit like a diva bomb. Where it's like, or like just any kind of, like, ultimate where it just uses people to zone people. So what's going to happen is essentially nobody's will want to push or like touch this payload anymore because of this Orisa. What can you do? You can put your beam onto the soldier. He has this damage boost. You can get rid of this Ashe. You can get rid of whoever this is over here. Oh no, who's this? Oh, this is your Lucio. He looked like an Ashe from here. But anyways, you can get rid of this Lucio and you can get rid of this Ashe with like a damage boost over here. If you literally just stayed here. This Life Weaver is pretty much like kind of having to part of this Moira now, but it's fine because it means that these guys get less healing. But you just need to damage boost this soldier here for this end bit. Obviously, Lucio ends up jumping into it for some reason, which, you know, he does him, I guess. Okay, throughout this entire thing as well, you just want to be sitting damage boosting your soldier. And you're capping it, which is really good. Okay, so overall, Bluehawk, I feel as though your movement has improved a lot from last game. Like, your movement has definitely improved from when, like, we last, like, watched you play, which is really, really great. You know, so it's really good that we've, you know, got better at that, basically. Alright. Reses so far seem to be okay. Like, I don't think I've really had, like, any issues with them. My only thing is your beam priority. Like, it feels like very much a lot of the time, you just don't know who you need to be with or, like, how to get to them, right? And I don't know whether this is the influence of, like, the Orisa being like, oh, Ghost, like, you need to keep me up, like, top to pole this entire time, right? Just, honestly, ignore it. Like, that's not your job, okay? You need to go behind. Okay. I'm going to give a massive tip to anyone that plays, like, Pharmacy on this map, okay? Because I'm going to make a full video about, like, focusing Pharas and Echoes and stuff, because I see it's one thing that people always really struggle with. Okay. On defense with Pharah will essentially stand here, and she's going to spam out this spawn door. She will just kind of hover up here. You could just keep cancel Jing onto this roof and keep sliding about like this, alright? What will happen is they'll start, obviously, you know, pushing through. Pharah will not have LOS. Pharah will then move and start spamming out from here. If they start to come like pass through this choke, or if like obviously they start to pressure Farah more, she will use her little like boopy move thing and we'll go boom, and we'll play around this like kind of clock towery thing here. And then this is the part where it gets a little bit harder because it very much relies on kind of where the team are. Like, for example, if the team start pushing around this side, then you have to play this side. But then obviously if the team push this side, then you have to play the other side, vice versa, basically. So you essentially just want to kind of just play about and just slide about on these roofs. And it honestly, it's so fun doing so. So honestly, all you need to do here is literally just keep your beam on the Sphara and just slide about on these roofs. If you end up losing contact with her, that's fine. You can literally, you know, you can just return back to your team. But just remember to keep a quick eye on the Sphara on the just in case. Alright? So we're already missing out on the spam damage at the beginning. Like, I just want you to quickly look at this Sphara's ult percentage, okay? Look at how much ult percentage she now has compared to everyone else. Now imagine if you were damage boosting that. Imagine how, like, much damage she would have got towards a barrage already, and also it gives you ult charge as well. You would already be going to a Valk, but instead we're being AFK at the moment and not really doing anything. All right, keep looking at that Farah's ult percentage. I want you guys just to look at it. Okay, she ends up being chunked down a little bit, which is when you now need to go and get her. Look, she's come back for you, and you're still stood here AFK with the soldier. You now need to go and help her so she can get back up and start spamming people from the second point that I talked about over here. Okay? But we'll keep going. She needs your help, still. Still needs your help. If it ends up dying, that's not your fault. This Farah, bless her heart, is still on this low HP. It's like you've just totally forgotten about her. And this is like the story that it's been for this entire scenario. It's all been about pretty much your Orisa. Which is just, it comes down to basically full, like, beam priority, basically. You know? Like, it's just, you're not focusing on the right person. Then ping healing, it doesn't matter. Like, I know obviously it'd be nice, like, to ping, you know, oh, I need healing and stuff like that. It's the fact that you should already be there with her. This is the issue that's coming about. It's not like, you know, it's not like, oh, they didn't ask for healing and stuff like that. With Mercy, it's all about kind of knowing in your head who's going to need help and who you need to be with. And in this scenario, this should be your Farah. You should, like, just be, like, what's it called? Be playing with her. Yeah, you gotta look around as well. Like, one of the biggest things, that's why I always, like, tell people to have, like, higher, like, senses as Mercy, is so you're able to look around and take in that information as much as you can. But anyway, so we end up, obviously, healing up Soldier a little bit, which is great. We need to go and help Farah. But Farah's getting so many picks. Go. We're there. We did it. It took 30 seconds. Alright, this isn't like me having a go at you, by the way. This is like me trying to make you realize like how do I put it? Like how unaware you seem in certain parts, right? And it comes down to you not knowing the beam priority in this scenario, okay? We've got to her, which is great. Now, will we start pocketing her? Yes. Awesome. Fling yourself over the roof. Okay. She is basically like spawn camping them now because obviously, you know, they've lost the tank. But we're just going to take the scenario where essentially they still have the tank in their head. Like, we're going to think to ourselves, okay, they still have this tank. They'll still want to be still playing the game and like pushing forward and stuff. What will happen is she will just play this roof and you essentially just do what I was saying at the beginning. Obviously, she ended up pushing in a bit, which is great. You can just come and GA it over and you can just like play this roof over here. She wants to like start, you know, spawn camping people because sadly the enemy tanks like left. Nice. See, I'm just seeing the Bastion, which is fine. You can res that now. Nice. Bluehawk, just a quick question. Do you still have the scoreboard for this match? Like, are you still able to view it? Because I would just like to ask for like some stats, if that's okay. If you still have it, don't worry if you don't. Same thing again, we're being very AFK. Like, we should have been. Hold on, let's quickly rewind it. Okay, we get the res off. That's great. As soon as we got that res, we now need to be thinking. Yeah, that's right, Bluehawk. Okay, we like just need to now look for our Farah, which is great. We picked her up here. Now, honestly, like I know she's like going in deep and stuff like that, but so's your soldier, alright? You essentially, once again, it feels like it's an awareness thing again, where it's just, oh, you just forget that these two people are going in kind of thing. So it's like, you just need to just commit with this Pharah more, and just keep on damage boosting people and going in, alright? Because we end up, if you look at the kill feed now, Pharah's dead. Because we didn't end up following her. So obviously we're still damage boosting Orisa, which is fine. I would still, like, as soon as you see the soldier though, like, managing to rotate in, you can then essentially just go and help him. Which is what you're doing now, which is great. You see the Ashe? I hope you see that Ashe. You see that Ashe? Okay, we needed to react to that Ashe a little bit quicker. Like, I saw that Ashe, like, instantaneously. And what I would do is, as soon as I see that, you just flick over. Come over here. Okay? The same thing again, we should literally just be with a soldier here. Like, even though it's like great to damage this as a Orisa, it gives your like kind of soldier a lot more confidence if you just go in with him. And just be with your DPS right now. Like, give him that nice little flank. I mean, obviously it's 4v5, so I can't really comment too much about it. Because unfortunately it's not like a proper kind of team fight and stuff. But whenever your DPS take a flank like that, it's most likely they'll want to use ultimates, like your Pharah has just used and also your soldiers just used. Imagine if you were there to help with that. And I'm guessing they give it up now, which is sadly unfortunate. There's being a little bit AFK for a bit. I'm just gonna skip forward a bit to see whether anything like happens. Oh, everyone's just leaving now. So I'm just gonna end the VOD here if that's alright, because unfortunately there's nothing really that we can like talk about now because it's just everyone's left. We have got like a bit of a dodgy team fight right there, but is this still got? Okay, hold on. I will actually comment on this. I was just thinking, oh, this is just what's it called? This is gonna like finish. But no, it seems like they actually do start attacking you guys. And it ends up being quite long, which I'm a little bit like, oh my gosh. Okay, so we end up going to AFK because obviously you think that we've won. They haven't, okay? So same thing again, just look out for your Pharah. Really nice use of high ground here though. Obviously backing off your Orisa. This is a fine time to go and help your Orisa. As soon as she gets pulls like that, look, do not GA to her. Like, you do not need to. Find someone else. You can go over to this Pharah. You can GA over to this Pharah. And then play on this high ground over here. Like this, okay? You can't res there. You can res now. Yep. Helping Lifeweaver. Love the use position on this high ground. I will say, you know, like, during team fights, your position tends to be really, really good. Like, your position gets improved a lot from the last VOD, which is what we were focusing on last VOD, which is really, really great. Okay, so Bluehawk, overall, obviously, massive improvements on positioning. Like, your use of cover was really, really great this time, okay? What we need to improve on is our beam management, okay? We need to basically sit down at the start of a game, and no matter who you're queued with or anything like that, you have to think to yourself, who do I need to prioritize as much as I can, okay? So in the order of your team, it's going to be Pharah, then Soldier, and then probably like your Lifeweaver or like Orisa, depending on like... The Lifeweaver will mainly just like, obviously like be for peeling for him, or if he like obviously gets attacks. With the Orisa, obviously you can damage boost her if she's got a good angle compared to your DPS. But the majority of the time, during that entire game, you want to be following your Pharah. Because the reason why I want to see the scoreboard from you is because I want to see how much the Pharah did by herself compared to the Soldier who had the blue beam from time to time. So just basically kind of take, because obviously, you know, we've looked at like kind of position so far. We got that really, really nailed down, which is really, really great. So we now need to look next at blue beam management and looking at who we, blue beam and stuff like that. Reses were okay. The Valks we ended up basically using to kind of like save our life and stuff like that. I can't really look at it too much on this match because it was very kind of wish-washy, especially because the tank kept on leaving and joining back and stuff. So I can't really comment on the Valks, but the Valks at least, you know, they saved you from dying and stuff like that, which is great. We just need to really focus on that beam management, okay? And I will be making a full TikTok as well on like playing with Pharahs and Echoes, because I see it's like it's a really big thing that people just don't understand how to play with them. So I'm gonna go through all that. But yeah, hope that helped, Bluehawk. Once again, thank you so much to everyone on Twitch as well as YouTube who have been watching this. You can get your own VOD reviews. They offer 5,000 channel points on my Twitch. I do them on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, where you guys can just come in. You can say hello to my lovely community, or you can obviously, stay and lurk and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!